Hello, this is Jared from the online education team, and I'm back with a tutorial video to show you how to attach outcomes in Canvas to your grading rubric. And so what I like to do is I like to be transparent with students in case they're looking for this information. So I go into my course settings and I go into the navigation menu, which is right here. And I like to make them in this top active menu, and I can do that by clicking on these three dots to the side and either enabling them or disabling them, or you can even drop and drag things from the active and inactive menus back and forth. So this is where you find them. Okay, and so from there we're going to go into outcomes, and these are just your student learning objectives. You can find them in Curricunet, your course outline of record, or they're probably also in your syllabus, wherever's the easiest place for you to access them. And you will click the plus outcome, and we'll call this Art G12 SLO2 just for fun. And off screen I will go in and find this SLO, and I will copy it and paste it into here for you. And so there it is, design and produce effective visual communication materials. And the default system for outcomes is not good for me. I like a 1-point scale or a 10-point scale or a 100-point scale for learning mastery. It's much easier for me to see it on a 1-point scale. So I change these to a 1 point for if it exceeds my expectation. If it meets my expectations, I call it a 0.8, which is an 80%. If it is emerging, I might call that a 0.65% roughly. And my learning mastery is going to be at 0.75. That's the goal I set within my program review. And this decaying average, I'm not going to spend any time talking about it, but there's an explanation of what it is here. And I like to set mine at about 50 or 60% so that the last time I evaluate an SLO, it's weighted more significantly, or at least half the significance of previous measurements of student performance. So I do that, I save it, and now I have two different outcomes I can use here for Art G12 SLOs 1 and 2. So now what I need to do is I need to go into my rubrics and find my art design rubric. As you'll notice here, I have an art design rubric without outcomes, and I want to keep that because I might want to borrow this rubric and take it from course to course. And so I want to keep that without any outcomes in it. It'll make my life easier later. And I've created a duplicate art design rubric with outcomes here. And these are where I want to put my outcomes. So this is my sample mock rubric that I created offline. And I want to edit this rubric. And what I want to do is I want to find outcomes. And I want to find that Art G12 SLO1. I want to uncheck this box because I don't want to actually use it as a grading criteria. I just want to use it for evaluating SLOs. So I uncheck that box and I import it. Then I want to go bring the other one, SLO2, uncheck the box, and also bring that into the assignment. And I'm going to update the rubric. And so now I have a complete comprehensive rubric, and I want to go to my assignments. And I've created a mock assignment here for students to design a sample news or business homepage. And I want to add my fancy new rubric with outcomes. So I'll go here, I'm going to look for the rubric. Again, I'll scroll to ADMJ3 demo. And I'm looking for the art design rubric with outcomes. You can see there it says 5 criteria, not 3. This is the one I want. I'll scroll down and I'm going to click use this rubric. And I also want to click the box down here to use this rubric for assignment grading. Okay, so now this rubric is attached to my mock assignment. And my students, when they submit this to me, I'll be able to go into the speed grader inside Canvas and start grading. And so I'm going to do some mock grading real quick. And so let's give this student, this student is awesome and they really did an impressive job. So I'm going to give them exceeds expectations. The next student was maybe mediocre or average and they met the basic expectations, and that's fine. And then maybe the next student missed some time in class or just didn't put a lot of effort into this particular assignment. So I'm going to click a lot of the emerging boxes. And then this student, maybe they were a little bit mixed. And again, I'm just going to create some kind of fake scores. Okay, so now I have some data that I can go check on later. All right, so now that we have attached these outcomes to the rubric and now we've graded a fake assignment here, where's the value in this? And that's what's important here. So now what we want to do is we want to go to our gradebook and we want to use the Learning Mastery Gradebook, which it's not populating there. So let's go to our settings. And I'll show you how to activate your Learning Mastery Gradebook in settings. So you'll go to Feature Options, and you will click the Learning Mastery Gradebook, check it green so that it's active. And now we can go back to our gradebook. And when we click on the gradebook, we can go to the Learning Mastery book. And we'll hide the unused outcomes there. And now we have some interesting data here. And so when you get to the end of the semester and you need to report this data or track this data of your student outcomes and your teaching into the TrackDat system, we can go into this Learning Mastery book. And what I find here is that students for SLO 1, they averaged 84%. And my expectation and hope was 75%. And on SLO 2, the student average was a little bit lower at 0.76, which is 76%. So it means they barely met my targeted goal for student learning and mastery of SLO 2. And now I can take this data and I can transfer it to TrackDat with the support from some of the folks over in the LAC committee or the pre-committee. And they can give me some information on how to put this into the TrackDat system. All right. I hope you found this to be useful. If we could be of any use to you, please reach out to us at the online education team. Thank you for your time.